Welcome to Technology in Plain English. In this video, we take a look at the dark web. You've probably heard of the dark web, also sometimes referred to as darknet, in numerous news stories and commercials. It's been in both. And almost always it is associated with the online criminal community, cybercriminals, and there's a reason for that. Anonymity is the name of the game on the dark web. Those who operate on the dark web, if they know what they're doing, can do so undetected, anonymously. There are numerous ways to access the dark web, and one of the most popular is through a network called Tor. Tor is an acronym for the Onion Router. If you haven't yet seen our video on how to buy your next router, check it out. The link will be in the description below. In that video, we explain what a router is and what a router does, and that'll provide some important context on how the Onion Router works. To give you a broad overview, take an onion, for example. Let's say you are going to send some information through Tor. In other words, you're using the network and your goal is to be anonymous. That information would sit right here in the middle of the onion. It would be surrounded or encapsulated, or better yet, encrypted by the surrounding layers of the onion. Anywhere that information goes within the Tor network, that encapsulation or encryption would persist. Those layers would surround your information. The only time those layers would not surround your information is when it reaches its destination. That's how anonymity is maintained in a broad sort of overview on Tor. It's important to understand that Tor was not developed for online criminal activity. Instead, it was developed by the U.S. Naval Research Laboratory in the 1990s to conceal U.S. intelligence communications. Again, anonymity is the name of the game here. Criminals don't like getting caught. And being that Tor works so well in keeping its users anonymous, it has been adopted by the online criminal community. That said, when using Tor and when exploring the dark web, there are going to be some terms and some lingo that you're going to come across that you want to be familiar with. The first of which are dumps. A dump is credit card information that can be coded to a magnetic strip. This is basically how credit cards are cloned. The magnetic strip on the back of a typical credit card contains information that allows charges to be made to that particular card or that card account. That information can be cloned onto a dummy card or an imposter or a counterfeit card, if you will, and it can be used the exact same way that the original card is used. Dumps would facilitate that process. That information, again, is stolen and bought, sold, and traded on the dark web and used to create fake credit cards that can then be taken into stores physically in person and used to make purchases. One last thing we'll say here is that the US is the last developed nation to have a system that still uses magnetic strips on the back of credit cards. Typically, cards these days use chips, the EMV chip to be specific. That's the chip on the front of credit cards where you insert your credit card and the device keeps it for a little while because it's reading the chip. Dumps and chip information are two completely different things. So that is to say that if you are a purchaser of dumps and a user of cloned credit cards, you probably reside or operate somewhere in the US. The next term is fulls. Fulls are a full package of identifying information, usually enough information to commit fraud in someone's name. That means your first name, last name, middle name if you have one, social security number, date of birth, and home address. That information in and of itself is enough to get started with opening a line of credit, possibly creating a fake ID, maybe even filing a tax return. to name just 3 examples. There are many, many more. Dumps and fulls are typically sold in more than one or lots. The next up is cash out. Cash out is a process, the process of converting stolen information into spendable currency. When information is initially stolen, and typically is stolen on ClearNet, that's the internet that most of us use. Netflix, eBay, Amazon, Facebook, Twitter, the list goes on. When that information is stolen on ClearNet, very often, as we alluded to in the beginning of this video, it gets sold and traded on the dark web. When that information is initially stolen, it cannot yet be converted to spendable currency. It has to go through a stepwise process. In that stepwise process, there are 2 goals. Number 1, not to raise any flags with the rightful owner of the information. And number 2, not to raise any flags with law enforcement. There are guides and manuals on how to properly execute the cash out process that vendors on the dark web will sell along with their stolen goods. That's so that people feel comfortable buying from them and people will come back. That said, let's Tor. Last thing, this is going to be an introductory tour of Tor, if you will. It's not going to be an in-depth one. We'll get more in-depth depending on the response we get from this video. So if this is useful to you and you like what you see, like, comment, subscribe, etc. And depending on that feedback, we'll do another one of these. That said, let's go. We are now on the deep web. And one of the first things we want to show you here is the hidden wiki. You've probably heard of Wikipedia. That's the online encyclopedia on ClearNet, which is the internet we all use, most of us. Netflix, eBay, Amazon, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, etc. The list goes on. This is the version or a version of a Wikipedia site for the dark web. And a lot of the dark web sites that are fairly popular are on this hidden wiki. And you have different categories here. So you have editor's picks, you have introduction points, we're going to get back to that shortly, financial services, commercial services, and you'll see examples of some of what we talked about earlier in the video when we define terms and explain them. We have blogs, essays, wikis, email messaging, social networks. Yes, there's a dark web version of Facebook. Hacking, freaking, anarchy, wares, viruses, and cracks. Hacking, as you know, is hacking or gaining unauthorized access to anything computing related. Freaking is a little bit older. That's basically using ground or landline telephone service to make long distance calls, etc. Unauthorized long distance calls. You're charging those calls to someone else's landline. In a nutshell, that's what it is. Internet anarchy, just causing trouble. Wares are illegal software that has been pirated. Viruses, that's the standard definition of viruses. And cracks is when you want to crack legitimate software so that you can make it illegal and then sell it presumably on the dark web. Hosting, website developing. So if you need to have your dark web site hosted, there are certain hosts that will do that. ClearNet hosts will have none of dark web's activity, and they will immediately suspend your account and kick you off of their service if they catch you doing anything related to the dark web. However, there are specific hosts that do not, and a list of them are here. And you have a number of other things: drugs, books, erotica. This is all being filmed real time, or recorded real time, by the way. So everything you see here is everything we're actually doing, and hopefully no one watching is easily offended. So let's go back up to the top here and let's take a look at some of what we have. So you have ClearNet search engines that operate on the regular internet, regular meaning the internet that we mostly use, and they will index Tor hidden services. So this is one, AMIA, evidently. DuckDuckGo is another. That's a little bit more popular. Maybe you've heard of DuckDuckGo. DuckDuckGo's claim to fame is that it's an anonymous search engine. So DuckDuckGo will not retain data about your searches. If you are interested in that, it will index ClearNet websites as well as sites here on the dark web. Tor Links, which is a moderator replacement. Torch is another search engine, which we're going to check out shortly. You can see the tab here. Torch, or Tor search engine, is one of the oldest and longest running search engines on the dark web. It's also one of the most popular. This is part of the reason why it claims to index around 1.1 million pages. You also have Not Evil, which is a Toring search engine, which only indexes hidden services. And let's see, Tor Grid. Let's go to the financial services here. So PayPal Sent. So these are PayPal accounts with good balances. These are stolen PayPal accounts that are being sold here on the dark web, as well as pretty much everything else you see here in terms of accounts. This is an anonymous Bitcoin wallet, hidden Bitcoin wallet rather. Bitcoin is more or less the de facto currency here on the dark web. Bitcoin, as you may have heard of, is cryptocurrency. It is one of the oldest, if not the oldest, forms of cryptocurrency, and it is known for its anonymity. A lot like Tor, Bitcoin was not developed for the online criminal community. However, it has been adopted by the online criminal community due to its anonymity. So you will see a lot of references to Bitcoin. You will see Bitcoin converters, Bitcoin accepted here on different sites, etc. And this site's no exception. A lot of the cryptocurrency references, if not all of them, are referencing Bitcoin, and there's a reason for that. Here are commercial services. You can buy guns, you can sell guns if you want, full auto assault rifles, pistols, grenade launchers, etc. And you know, there can't be any representation made as to how real or not any of these sites are. Very often you'll find that these links are broken on the hidden wiki, or many of them are broken. Not all of them work, and presumably not all of them are real. For all we know, they're completely fake. For all we know, they could be sites that law enforcement set up in order to trap people or to catch people, to deter people from doing some of these activities that we see here. For all we know, the sites could be 100% real, and whatever they advertise, we can actually buy on them. We just don't know. But for our intents and purposes, we don't care. We just want to get an idea, general idea of the dark web and how it works and what you would see if you were touring the dark web or moving around here. So let's go to one of our financial services sites. Let's see. PayPal Bazaar. These are PayPal accounts for sale. Let's see what we have here. And some of these sites, you'll notice, again, this is being recorded in real time. Some of these sites will load slower than what you would normally expect. And that's because the communication is bouncing around the Tor network. The Tor network, generally speaking, may not be as fast as a non-Tor network that is used on ClearNet. So ClearNet sites typically load relatively fast, depending on your internet connection. But anonymity is the name of the game here. And anonymity is traded for speed in some cases. So just keep that in mind. So on this site, we want to know if you got milk. Our cash cow has got plenty of it. Bring your bucket and get some. So what do? So they exist only on Tor network because of safety and privacy. Again, anonymity being the name of the game. They deliver only the top products. We guarantee the quality of our merchandise. Guarantees, again, you're getting a guarantee from a criminal, so take that for what it's worth. Bitcoin is our preferred payment method, but do not hesitate to ask us about others. So again, that goes back to what we mentioned about Bitcoin here. So there are prepaid cards fully loaded with your name on them. Remember we talked about dumps earlier and cloning cards using the magnetic strip information. This is one example of that. So these prepaid cards are most likely cloned cards, cloned from their rightful owners, and the cloned cards can have your name on them instead of the rightful owner's name, and that will avoid a lot of problems, maybe at a cash register or wherever else you determine or decide to use the cards. We also have PayPal transfers where maybe a stolen or compromised PayPal account will transfer money to you. There's a stepwise process there too. So you can buy some of these bank transfers, which are similar in concept. And cash out is going to be of importance here because you want to be able to convert these transfers to spendable currency, even the prepaid cards, to spendable currency without raising red flags. Same thing goes for Western Union transfers, MoneyGram transfers. We also have real money here. Gift cards, which are another popular method of cashing out. So let's click on one of these. Let's see what we have here. PayPal transfers. So what do we have? So we have a $500 transfer that comes in about 2 hours, 99% clean. No one can guarantee that their transfers or their sites are 100% clean. There's always going to be a risk here, and the criminal community acknowledges that to mislead anybody in that regard, so to speak, because criminals, again, they have a community and there's reputation, and people know better when they're doing these things. So you can see that the balance here on the PayPal account is proportional to what you pay, meaning that for a $2,000 balance, $2,500 or $3,000 or even $5,000 balance, the price will go up. If I scroll down here, 5,000 is going to be $500 for that account. 3,000 will be $300, and so on and so forth. So let's say we're interested. We want to pay with Bitcoin. Let's see what happens. So this is requiring an email account, and presumably some sort of communication will be sent to that email account. And you can make your payment and get underway with your stolen PayPal account. Let's see what else we have. Little prepaid cards. So these are Visa prepaid cards. So this is a legit product issued by Visa. Your name's on it. $2,000 is the minimum available. That evidently is going to cost $110. It's going to convert automatically to your currency no matter where you are in the world, and you don't have to look over your shoulder. These are MasterCard prepaid cards. American Express. And again, these prepaid cards are generated using information stolen from real people. What else do we have? One more, bank transfers. Bank transfers are very concerning to the cybercrime or the online criminal community, because banks have a lot of controls in place to flag suspicious activity. So in order to do this properly takes a series of steps, and you need to know what you're doing. A lot of these vendors will offer cash out guides that will guide you through the process of cashing out bank accounts, stolen bank transfers, PayPal, etc., what have you. so that you can minimize your chances of getting caught and they can maintain their reputation, and maybe you'll be a repeat customer. So we'll close this and we'll take a look onto a search engine. So here are a number of advertisements on Torch, and the number of advertisements sort of speaks to Torch's prominence on the dark web. We'll click one of these just for fun. Let's see. We talked about PayPal transfers, about buying real money. So we're going to be redirected to buy real money. And we click to continue, and again, we are recording in real time. Not as fast as you would expect, but here we go. Here's a picture of Leo from The Wolf of Wall Street. What do we have? Beware of clones. We are the only real cash sellers. So here is their Onion link. You can see that it matches this link. We are on the Onion version of the site. Here's their claim to fame. Used cash is shredded, but somehow they have access, or they can get their hands on cash before it's shredded. And they can't spend it. They need your help. Therefore, you can buy some of this money. Let's say we want to buy money now. What do we get? So again, we have a slow loading site. So here are evidently packages that you can purchase. You get $45,000 if you pay $3,600. You have a direct Bitcoin conversion here, most likely as of today. I don't know if there's an update date on it. Some of these sites have dates as when they're updated, so you know that the Bitcoin conversion is current. Here's one here. 1 Bitcoin equals about $9,600. So you can buy any of these packages, the Master, the Semi-Pro, depending on how much money you want. And again, the balance is representative of what you'll be charged to access the money. So you place your order, you send the Bitcoins, and then you get your money. Seems pretty simple. How about the FAQ? What does the FAQ say? Are you legit? So you're teaming up with German born and raised first class criminals. We're running an operation, Mumbai, India. Is this really safe? This is the safest money making on the dark net. Again, we just don't know. I saw a bad review written about you in a forum, and they acknowledge this. Yes, and there will be many more. They know we're stealing from them, and they just don't know how. This is the European Central Bank. So that's sort of a taste of a vendor that's advertising themselves on Torch's search site. So we're going to go back and we're going to type in a search term. Maybe you'll recognize that from earlier in the video. So here we have a number of fools, and you'll notice something. We have a US Social Security number, US credit card fools. Fools are often sold with credit card information. Many times the person's credit card account, or maybe even their credit report, are the means by which the fools, or their entire suite of information, again, social, date of birth, name, address, that's probably how that information was stolen, or perhaps one means by which it was stolen. Plus you get a tutorial. That tutorial is how to cash out, how to go about that process and minimize your chances of getting caught. So let's check out one of these sites. Let's see what we get here. Let's see how fast this loads or does not. Okay, so here we have a last update date. Let's see, you can pick your verified balance PayPal account. So it's 100% verified balance. There's a cash out guide, and there are SOX 5. SOX 5 is a way to further anonymize yourself when doing online crime, basically. But again, SOX 5 was not developed for the online crime community. It is used on or by the online criminal community, a lot like a lot of the other resources we're using are. So again, we have PayPal accounts. Here's the balance. Here's what you would pay. Here is a direct conversion to Bitcoin. And as the balances get bigger, the price gets higher. So here's how your credit cards are delivered. CVV, card verification value. That's actually what that acronym stands for, one of the meanings of the acronym. But on the dark web, CVV is a term used to describe credit cards accounts that are stolen online. So that's the credit card number, the expiration date, the 3-digit verification code or 4-digit code, depending on what kind of credit card you have. And these cards can be used for online purchases only, because the rightful owner was buying something online when their information got stolen, on ClearNet presumably. And that means that there is no dump or no magnetic strip information to clone the card, or to have the ability to clone the card. So you cannot use a CVV in person or in a physical place. But a lot of information comes here: mother's maiden name, date of birth, social security number, phone, and email. So you get all this information plus a tutorial. Let's see, $45. This is 5 people, full info, USA. Here are dumps. You can get 5 dumps for the USA. Track 1 and track 2, that refers to the magnetic strip information. It's a little more detailed than we'll go into today, but you can get that for $100, and then again, direct Bitcoin conversion. And Bitcoin's accepted here. So this was really just an overview of the dark web, just to show you some of the things that you can expect to see. So depending on your comments, likes, subscribe if you feel inclined to do so, we may do another one where we go a little bit more in depth and show you a little bit more. But hopefully this gives you sort of an idea or a general concept of the dark web and how it works. So again, like, comment, subscribe as you see fit. Thanks for watching, and join us on the next video where we explain technology in plain English. If you like this video, click the like button and let us know. If you'd like to subscribe to this channel, click the subscribe button. Also click the notification bell, set it to active so you'll be notified when new videos become available.